But workers' compensation is a social system that's been enacted in all states of the United States in some form or other, and even in other countries. And its purpose is to enable injured workers, injured on the job, to recover certain specified benefits that are established by the law. So while the specific benefits may vary from state to state, or the procedures may vary from state to state, it's pretty much the same in all of the states that an employer must qualify for insurance provided to itself within each state's laws, or must secure insurance to provide certain benefits either through private insurance, or in some states there is a state agency which provides the insurance. What's common sense? The first thing an injured worker has to do if he's injured on the job is obviously report it to his employer immediately. And by reporting it to employer, that doesn't mean reporting it to the guy that sits next to you on the assembly line. That means going to your manager, your supervisor, whoever you have been instructed to report it to. His employer then has an obligation, and that obligation is to give him a document called a claim form. That claim form is filled out by the employee, who submits it to the employer, who then submits it to his insurance company, and they investigate it and decide to either accept or reject the claim. If the employee goes to the doctor cannot charge the employee 1 cent, knowing that it's an industrial injury. He must submit the bills to the insurance company for the employer, or to the employer if they self-insure, and that must be paid to the extent it is reasonable, subject to a schedule for payment that the state has created. The employee, whether here legally or illegally, is entitled to medical care for the rest of his life if necessary, whether the employment continues or not. And if he is rendered temporarily totally disabled, he is entitled to temporary total disability indemnity for the period of his total disability. And if he is rendered permanently impaired, partially or wholly, he's entitled to compensation for that, regardless of whether the employment continues or not, and regardless of whether he is here illegally or not. However, he cannot be taken back to work if the employer does discover that he's here illegally.